everyone, in this short video we'll discuss the extreme values of a function on a closed interval. Now let's look at this graph. Here is a graph of a function f of x on the closed interval from -5 to 4.2. Well, the first thing we want to ask ourselves is how many types of extrema values we have. Well, the first type is absolute extrema, which are global maximum, which is the highest value of the function, and the global minimum, which is the lowest value of a function. So if these values exist, those are unique, which means you only have one global maximum and one global minimum. The second type is local extrema. So those are like local maximum and local minimums. And at local maximums, this is the highest point in that area, and the local minimum is the lowest point in that small area around the point. And since you can see that there's multiple local maximum and multiple local minimum, which means these values are not unique. So if you have so many turns in your graph, then you can find different local maximum and different local minimum. Well, the next question is, where do these values occur, right? So now, first, if we look at local extrema, here's local maximum, local minimum, and I'm sketching tangent line to all of these points. And you can see that all of these tangent lines are horizontal lines, which mean the derivative at this point is 0. Okay, so it turns out that these points are very important, and they call critical points or critical values, is where all the local extrema occur. So what are critical values? They are values on the same interval such that the derivative at these values is 0, or the derivative at these values doesn't exist or undefined. All right? Again, local extrema occurs at critical values. And there's two types of critical values. The first type is the points where the derivative equals to 0, and the second type is points where the derivative doesn't exist. But what about absolute extrema? In this example, you can see that the global minimum occurs at one of the critical values, which is 1. And the global maximum occurs at one of the endpoints, which is at 4.2. So if global maximum and or global minimum exist, they should occur at either one of the critical values or one of the endpoints if we're looking at a closed interval. All right, here's an introduction of extreme values: absolute extrema, local extrema, and where they occur, which are either at one of the critical values or one of the endpoints. Local extrema only occur at critical values, but absolute extrema can occur at critical values or endpoints.